For the tiramisu, you will need 500 grams of mascarpone cheese, soft Italian cheese, 300 millilitres of double cream, good quality Italian espresso coffee. We like to use this one. And you'll have 4 shots of that, espresso size cup shots, 2 tablespoons of sugar to sweeten the coffee, 4 very fresh eggs, try and make sure they're as fresh as possible, 80 grams of white sugar, some broken up good quality Italian chocolate, and the Savoiardi biscuits, and some amaretto liqueur. So you take your fresh eggs. What we're going to do is separate the yolk from the white. So that's the white that's gone into there, and we'll keep the yolk separately.
Well, you don't do that.
You don't do that. So, once again, carefully separate the white from the yolk and keep that separately. Okay. So I have transferred the mascarpone into a bowl, and I'm just stirring it around a little bit so that it softens up a little bit. Okay. Tastes nice. Then I'm going to add the sugar, the 80 grams of sugar, to the egg yolk. Mix the egg yolk and the sugar together with a hand blender. Then you want to whisk up your egg whites. Make sure that you've washed the ends of the whisk. They need to be really clean and free of grease, and also that your bowl is really clean and dry. So this is what your egg white will look like, nice and frothy. Again, with clean whisk ends, whisk up the double cream. Gabby again with the music. This time I'm going to add amaretto. I'm going to add a good double to the double cream because I want the mixture to have a taste of the amaretto rather than the biscuits. So I'm going to add that to the double cream and whisk a little bit more. And that's what it will look like. To the egg yolk and sugar, I'm going to add the mascarpone. And the double cream. And then I'm going to whisk this together with a hand whisk. I don't want it to be too vigorous a power because I don't want it to curdle and go hard. This is a lovely, rich, creamy consistency. And then finally, for the actual liquid filling of the tiramisu, I'm going to add the egg, the beaten egg white to it. I'm going to fold that in. So I want to keep that air from the egg white in here. Take it from the bottom and round. Okay, we're going to put a fine layer of the mascarpone mixture into a tray. Okay, so you take 2 of the ladyfingers at once and dip them into the cold coffee and sugar mixture. Turn them round and put them into the tray. You don't want to leave them in the coffee long because they will disintegrate and dissolve, but just long enough to absorb some of the coffee. The Savoiardi in the tray, and then you're going to put another layer of the mascarpone. What we do now is take some of the broken up chocolate. It's basically just good quality chocolate that I've just broken up. I'm going to sprinkle it in between the 2 layers of the ladyfingers. This adds a really lovely texture and it's really decadent. Okay, and then we're going to do another layer of ladyfingers in the coffee. Turn round once, start at this end this time. We'll add another layer of the mascarpone mixture.
You're not going to put cocoa powder on top?
So I'm going to put this in the fridge for 2 hours, and then when I bring it out, I'm going to dust some cocoa powder on top. I don't put the cocoa powder on top first of all because it goes a little bit bitter. Now this is a great adult tiramisu in that it's got coffee in it and amaretto liqueur. But if you want to make it for some of the younger members in your family, you can substitute the coffee with milk and chocolate. So rather than dipping the savoiardi into the coffee, you can make a little separate one and dip the savoiardi into some milk and chocolate and make a separate one for them. So this is going to go sit in the fridge for a couple of hours. It'll come out, I'll dust it and we'll serve it. But the good thing about this is you can also freeze it. So if you want to section some portions up and put them in little Tupperware container, you can freeze it for another time. Okay. I brought the tiramisu out of the fridge. It's been in there 2 hours and I've dusted it with cocoa powder. I'm hoping you've got some cocoa powder in your fridge because I forgot to mention it in the ingredients. Ah, do you know, he's a monkey. Get away. These ingredients you can buy from Vivaldi on Leeds Road. That's the savoiardi. Our own home branded amaretto, which we actually make on Leeds Road at Continental Wine and Food. We supply that to some of the supermarkets, but you can also buy it at Vivaldi. This is our favourite coffee. We have it in the morning from our old percolator here. And you can also buy this at Vivaldi and the mascarpone. So I hope you enjoy this recipe. Let me know how you get on. Lots of love.